Okay, here we are. We are live once again from Georgia Pop and HorrorCon, coming at you at Columbus Convention and Trade Center in Columbus, Georgia. And we are live.
Morning.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Georgia.
It's another beautiful day.
So, in case you were wondering, we got the first panel of the day up here with Mr. Eddie Deezen.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Nice.
Yes,
I like that. That was a Robin Williams.
yes, exactly.
cliche.
That is my favorite Robin Williams film. Yeah.
Well, that's why we're friends.
Yes, yeah.
That
I
is
love that
why
movie.
Ooh.
Am I too loud? Am I
No.
okay? Okay.
No.
Just throw it away. Okay.
I don't know.
One of us was getting a hum.
I want to welcome
Yeah, a
this
little bit
panel who came to see me. Hello. Hello to the pretty lady. Hello to the baby. Hello, sir. They're starting to come in now, yes.
Which mic is that? Is that you? Can you hear me? It's your mic. That's no bueno. That's no bueno.
Hi. How are you?
Go ahead. Keep going. Just talking to Eddie's mic. With Eddie.
Talking to my mic?
Yeah. We're working the camera.
Okay. Hi. Hey, good morning.
I
How are
got
you?
on.
All right, so is this any better?
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay, well, this mic is garbage.
Yeah. Let's throw that mic in the trash.
Yeah.
All right. Now I got
My
to
public. My public.
my public.
Yes, yes,
Did you just hit yourself?
yes. I'm a masochist. Yes.
So, what do you think of Georgia Pop and HorrorCon already?
I have met only nice people. These are the nicest, sweetest people. I hope I get to meet them all today. There wasn't a lot of traffic last night, so I'm hoping we all do better today. I know Vic is cleaning up. Everybody's going to Vic's table, but
Wow.
we met about, we had about a dozen bites last night. So, and it just, the people were so lovely. Just kibitzing and chatting with these nice people was such a pleasure. And we met some very special people. There's some very special people in this crowd. And I'm sure I'll meet some new ones today.
The most special people are those two guys standing right there, Billy and Brian. They're special.
Which, the guy with the beard?
No, see right there, those two guys. They keep looking at us. And
Oh,
they're the promoters.
Oh, okay.
So they're special.
I see. Okay.
So
Yeah, Bill's playing with our speakers.
is that what's going on? We're getting a hum out of the speakers.
Yo, we were getting a hum out of one of them yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's all good. It's all Brian's fault. Yeah.
We blame Brian.
Hey. Hiya.
So yeah, here we are.
Yes, here
Live.
Live. So,
Yes.
you just started getting back into conventions, right?
I just started getting back in events. I had open heart surgery January 6th, 2020. I was put in the hospital. I almost died. I shouldn't be dead by all rights. And I was stuck in the hospital for a long time. I got into some trouble. And I was in and out of hospitals. And then, of course, COVID came. It made it even worse, you know.
Right.
So I'm getting back on the circuit. This is my first signing show in 4 years. I did them since the 80s. I started doing them in the early 80s, and I've been doing them for 40 years. But it just stopped, you know, after all that health trouble. And then COVID was the double whammy, you know, not for me, but for everybody.
Right,
So
right,
hopefully the shows will just start getting back in. You know, we're trying to get into Chiller and for Halloween. And Steve's got me booked for a couple other shows after this. So I want to get
nice.
back into the circuit. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
they're
great.
so much fun.
Yeah.
You meet
case
the nicest
anybody's-
people in the world. You meet these great people, and they give you money, and they tell you how great you are. You know, it's the greatest racket ever invented. No, here's $40. You're the greatest actor in the world. Oh, thank you. Da-da. See you later. It's a great racket. Great racket.
In case anybody's wondering about Mr. Eddie Deezen, you recognize him from one of the biggest theatrical films ever,
Yeah.
which would be Grease.
Grease, yeah.
You know,
Well, you know what happened with Grease? You put John Travolta and me in a movie, and it makes $300 million. You know, how could it miss?
that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
You know, but outside of Grease, you've done a lot of other things like WarGames.
WarGames. Yeah, WarGames was when I worked one day. Matthew Broderick was a mensch, the nicest guy in the world. I love Matthew. And Ali Sheedy was an old friend. I used to be friends with Eric Stoltz, you know, the guy that did Mask.
Yep.
We used to play poker together, and he was dating Ali Sheedy, and I met Ali there. We were old friends, and I got to meet her in WarGames. Now, my WarGames director was Marty Brest. He was fired. They showed his dailies, and they didn't like it, so he was let go. And then John Badham took over. And John Badham looked at all the dailies, and my scene was the only one he kept in. So my scene is the only scene in Grease that's not directed, or the only scene in WarGames that's not directed by John Badham. It's directed by Marty Brest.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because you beat him in poker.
That's exactly.
I was going to
right.
ask him how much money he lost.
Oh no, that's why Matthew Broderick's broke and Eddie's got all the
Yes,
money.
Exactly. Broderick was just calling me for a loan the other day. In fact, the guy's annoying. Yeah.
But outside of just films, you've done a lot of voice acting.
I've done a lot of voice acting. Yeah, I like it because I always had a hard time memorizing lines. And it got to the point where I was doing voiceovers. Like I did my scene in WarGames. I have to say the words data encryption algorithm. I go, that's a new data encryption. And I kept screwing it up. I go, that's a new data endocrine algorithm. Cut. That's a new data endocrine algorithm. Cut. And I kept screwing it up. And finally, the director, he goes, come here. He goes, Eddie, let's go for a walk. So he puts his arm around my shoulder. He goes, look, you're costing the studio money. We're going to get you these idiot cards. And he goes, idiot. He puts an accent on idiot. We're going to get you these idiot cards. And he had my lines written on cards. And I read it, hey, that's a new data encryption algorithm. And I just read it. We did it in one take. And I go, this is cool, man. You get to read these cards. And they told me that's how Marlon Brando did it. Brando would use, cue cards.
Right.
Brando's doing, the Godfather and these great movies. And he's reading his lines off cue cards. So
Wow.
Marlon Brando and I, people naturally think of us together. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't like write them on the palm of your hand or something?
I'm sorry?
You wouldn't write them on the palm of your hand?
No, never that far.
No, not that
We had
bad.
them around. I've done films like Fred Olin Rain. We have them spread around. We'd have them spread on the set. You open the closet and they're in there, or it's on the back of the door, Yeah.
Why does Eddie keep going to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Where's cue
Yeah.
cards?
Wow, mind like a steel trap.
Yep. So, as far as the voice acting, you were on Dexter's Laboratory.
I was on Dexter's Laboratory. I did 20 episodes. My favorite animation director, Colette Sunderman, I did that. And I was Mandark, the bad guy. I was the villain with the ha 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 ha. That laugh. I did that. And, yeah, that was fun. She did. When I first auditioned, I used to have a stock laugh. I would do a nerd laugh. And when I laughed, I'd go, ha. It was just a steady laugh like that. And then Colette goes, no, that's not going to work. You're a mad scientist. You got to chop it up. She goes, chop it up into sections. So I go, ha, 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 and I chopped it up. But that was her idea. She's a one. I call her the Steven Spielberg of voiceover directors. She's the best. Her name is Colette Sunderman. She does all these shows, the Powerpuff Girls. She directed all of them.
Wow.
Ed, and Eddie. And what's that big famous one? Which one with Tom Sharp? Where he's a fish? Oh, SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
those
okay.
shows.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
That famous one?
Yeah.
The sponge and the star.
Yeah. I never understood that show to this day. I had a little bit part in the movie, and I still can't figure out what's going on with that show, but whatever. He's a nice guy. Tom Kenny is a great guy. And I got to work with Tim Conway. Tim Conway and I played seagulls together. You see, and
Right.
if you watch the movie, we're in the end credits. Tim and I are two seagulls on the end credits, and we talk over the end credits. That was my role in that. Yeah.
So you were a seagull.
I was a seagull. Yeah, Tim and I were both seagulls.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, your voice acting goes all the way back to the Brave Little Toaster.
The Brave Little Toaster I did, yeah, which I remember nothing about. People ask me, well, when you do a real movie, you remember, like Grease, I have 1,000 stories. I remember, Polar Express, I remember all these things. But you do a voiceover, you go in for 20 minutes, you're in for an hour, and you read your lines, and you just say goodbye. So, they get kind of jumbled up. You don't really remember a lot of that.
Right.
Yeah, but I know I did that movie, but I don't remember it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember it either, and I've seen it.
Good. Yeah. Well, a lot of people have seen it, and they like to forget it. That's how it is with a lot of my movies. Yeah.
So, we had you on our show just a few weeks ago. And,
Yes,
one
and
of
let me say, you guys have one of the best podcasts. Steve and I have done maybe 100, 200 podcasts. You guys have one of the best podcasts ever. The best I ever did is Gilbert Gottfried. Gilbert Gottfried had the best podcast ever, but I rate you guys as second. You have the second best podcast in the world. And Gilbert is gone now. He passed on.
Oh, so that moves us up.
Yeah, I think you guys have the best podcast one.
Yeah,
now.
no,
It's
that
the best
still
one
doesn't
I
move
know
us
of.
up.
Yeah.
That doesn't move us.
You know who's doing one now, I heard? Heavy competition. Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney is going to start a
Yeah, but he's
podcast.
like 95 years old, right?
Yeah.
So he's not going to last much longer either.
Oh, that's terrible. Paul's going to live forever. Don't listen to him, Paul. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, outside of entertainment, you are a knowledge of information when it comes to two subjects: baseball,
Baseball, yes.
From-
I'm a baseball nut.
up to what,
I can
1988.
name all the World Series winners from 1903 to 1990, and I can go across and name stats. I'll do Babe Ruth, okay? Babe Ruth played from 1914 to 1935. He played in 2,502 games. He had a lifetime batting average of 342. He had a lifetime slugging average of 690. He had 2,873 hits, 8,399 at bats. He had 506 doubles, 714 home runs, how many 136 triples. He stole home 10 times. He had 123 lifetime stolen bases. I can remember baseball stats like that. For some
But not a
reason.
line.
I can do Sandy Koufax, Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio. I could just do their stats like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird. I'm like Rain Man. I'm like, Charlie Babbitt.
So it's baseball and the Beatles, correct?
Baseball and the Beatles. Yeah, today is the anniversary of Revolver, which might be the best Beatles album. It was released on this day in 1966. Yeah.
Wow. So outside of baseball, the Beatles,
Yes.
and entertainment,
Yes.
what is something that you really have a passion about?
Naked women. That's my favorite, but you don't get a lot of those, but that's my favorite passion. Yeah.
They're far and few
You
between.
asked me, I'm giving you an honest answer. All right.
I love the honest answers first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm just going to throw this out there. If
Sure.
anybody wants to get a signature on, buy some rubber puke.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and Eddie will sign that for you. He's
Yes.
got a little story about that.
Yes. Well, I'm the only actor in history. I threw up in 3 of my first 4 movies. My first film was Grease. The last day of Grease, we were at the carnival, and they put me on the ride, that spins around, and I got nauseous, and I went out in the middle of the pasture. I swear to God, and I threw up. That was my last day on Grease. And then I went home, and I'm finished Grease, and I was nauseous in bed. But I threw up on Grease. Then I did a film called I Want to Hold Your Hand, which was the first film Steven Spielberg ever produced. And we finished it. They gave us cigars, and I didn't know you're not supposed to inhale cigars. So I had this cigar, and I was puffing. Hey, this is cool, man, a cigar. And then I started to feel weird. They go, you're not supposed to inhale, you idiot. And I went to the bathroom and I threw up. So I threw up the second movie. And then I did 1941 with Steven Spielberg, and he put me on the Ferris wheel. And Steven was whipping us around on the Ferris wheel, and I got nauseous. And he goes, go lay in my dressing room. So I crawled into Spielberg's dressing room. I'm laying on the couch. And I started feeling nauseous, and I crawled into the bathroom, and I threw up in the toilet. And I go, I just threw up in Steven Spielberg's toilet, and it was like an honor. So I threw up in 3 of my first 4 movies. I'm the only actor in history that can say that.
Right. So I think we asked you on the live show, the strangest things you've ever signed. So that's why we're telling you to go out and get rubber puke.
Well, I signed a breast last night. There was a very nice girl. It was the second breast I've ever signed. But I signed a breast, and she was very nice. I was very careful when I dotted the I. I didn't do it too hard, but I signed it, Eddie Deezen, and I got $20. I charged her half price.
Well, that's because it was
if
only
she
one
let me
move.
sign both, I would have charged nothing.
Oh, you wouldn't have charged double?
That's right. Yeah, I should have. You're right.
Permanent marker, right?
Right.
Yeah, permanent marker.
Yes.
Of course.
So we're coming up on. So Leo, I know you're out there. We got any questions from the interweb?
Yeah. A bunch of comments came in, but they're asking, Eddie, do you have a favorite musical?
A favorite? Sorry.
Musical.
Well, of course, Grease is special in my heart. I'm not super. Ironically, I did Grease, and people know me for Grease, but I'm not super crazy about musicals. It's not my favorite kind of movie. But I do love West Side Story. I love West Side Story. It's a great movie. And let's see, Sound of Music. I like Sound of Music. I remember seeing that as a kid. I was like 6, and I saw that. So I like the 2.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So if
When you know what, if you count A Hard Day's Night, does that count as a musical? The Beatles movie?
for you,
I
it
would
will.
think so.
That's my favorite movie of all time is A Hard Day's Night. So it's kind of a comedy musical. So that's a musical.
Right.
We'll call it
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So outside of, like you just said, musicals aren't your favorite movie. What are your favorite style movies?
I like, I love good comedies. I love Laurel and Hardy. I love the Marx Brothers. I love Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. I love Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton. Those are my favorites. The old time comedies. I'm a reaction. I don't like the new comedians so much, but I love the old comedians. They're my
The old
favorite.
style slapstick.
Yeah. The old time guys. W.C. Fields, I can see he's funny, but he was never my favorite. But I could see he was a genius, But I'm not the one that I'll go crazy over W.C. Fields for some reason. And I'm not crazy over Harold Lloyd. I'll watch Harold Lloyd and I don't go crazy. But if it's Charlie Chaplin, or I'll see Buster Keaton and I'll go, oh my God, this guy's a friggin' genius. Or you see Chaplin, do his ballet moves and you go, this guy's a fucking genius. How did he friggin' genius? Excuse my cursing.
That's French.
That's going to be bleeped out. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's
No,
live.
it's live.
Okay. Well, Charlie Chaplin, if you see a movie called City Lights, it's my favorite silent film. And it's the most beautiful movie. I cry at it every time I see it. Watch for the last scene. The last scene in City Lights is the most sweet, bittersweet, beautiful scene in movie history. And every time I've seen it like 20 times and I cry every time I watch it. Yeah. It's so
we
beautiful.
should invest in
Yeah.
tissues.
Yeah.
Tissues.
Yeah. We'll get some tissues and invest in that.
Yeah, please.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
We had another question come in.
Okay.
Yeah, they would like to know, what do you prefer, Grease or Grease 2?
Oh, Grease, hands down. Grease 2, yeah. Who could like Grease 2 better than Grease? Okay, I mean, I did Grease 45 years ago. Over the years, I've met maybe 20 people, and they'll go, Eddie, you know, I like Grease 2 better than Grease. And I go, that's like liking The Wiz better than The Wizard of Oz. Are you stupid? How stupid are you? It's like they're not in the same league. Maxwell Caulfield is a wonderful, nice guy, and Michelle Pfeiffer was drop dead gorgeous, you know. But it's not as good of a movie. The music's not as good. The characters aren't as good. The cinematography's not as good. You know, it just Grease is this classic, and Grease 2 is this mediocre. I mean, it's not a horrible film, but it's just a mediocre thing, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, how do you beat the original? You
Yeah,
can't.
exactly. Why do you try to do sequels to great movies? You just leave them alone. If you again, I say this to filmmakers: if you have to do a sequel, do it to a bad movie. Do it to a bad movie and try to make it better. But
Right.
if you get a movie like Casablanca, there's no way you're going to top it. There's no way you're going to make it anywhere near as good. So leave them alone.
True.
I hope they never touch the Polar Express. There's a Polar Express 2, you know, Santa Claus turns bad and we have to go back to the North Pole again or something. You know, it's like, leave it alone, please.
Right. So we only have a few minutes left of this amazing gentleman. Any
Anybody
questions out
questions?
there?
Look at all the pretty girls.
You got a question?
Not you. I was talking to
I'm gonna get
Yes.
up and I'm gonna actually walk over there with the mic because I
Okay.
had to steal the mic.
He's
that was
going to do
here.
like Phil. You go from person to person. Oprah.
I got it. It's all good. I got it. Thank you. You have the next.
Oh, okay. Get a question.
I heard-
Keep it clean. Keep it clean, please.
Will do.
We have kids here,
I heard 3 words from
but
your.
the answer is 11 inches. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. Go
Is that
ahead.
what you? Here's the question. I heard 3 words from you. I had to run to.
Yeah.
So, we know about the health problems, right? We know about the from your health problems to your lowest point in life.
Yes, sir. That was the last 3 years. Was definitely the
What?
nadir of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you get your motivation? Where did you get your inspiration?
Well, I'm going to be totally honest because we're all friends. When I was in the hospital, I was so sick. I would literally pray to God. I go, please, God, let me wake up dead. I was in such pain from my heart. My body was in pain. I was in spiritual pain, and I so wanted to die. But some kind of a spirit brought me back. I don't know what happened, but the nurse said, by all rights, you should be dead. You know? So every day's a blessing for me, you know, and I do love life. There's so many beautiful, wonderful people. I'm meeting them right here at the show. There's so many beautiful people out there. And, you know, when you do die, think of the people you'll meet. The very next day, you might have met the most greatest person in the world, you know. So stick around. You're going to meet more great people. You know, there's so many wonderful people in life. Yeah. And the joys of, you know, eating a good meal, seeing a good movie, you know, good sex. Not that I've had that in a long time, but, you know, there's so many beautiful, you know, it's viewpoint. You know, you have viewpoints in life. You'll see like these horrible people who have nothing and they're enjoying life. And then we all know there's these millionaire guys, movie stars who are miserable. They have everything in the world and they're miserable people. So
Money
it's a
doesn't fix
viewpoint.
everything.
It comes out of your head.
Yeah, money doesn't fix everything.
Yeah, money
Right,
doesn't.
right.
Yeah,
It
money
can make
doesn't
things
do
worse,
it.
actually.
I thought if you get a lot of money, it'll solve your problems, and it doesn't at all. It doesn't do anything like that. It's like it's absolutely. It's your heart. It comes from your heart. It comes from up here. Yeah.
So we do have another question out here.
Sure.
Could you tell us anything about filming the movie Laser Blast?
Oh, yeah.
And did you ever see the Mystery Science Theater version of it?
Yes, the Mystery Science Theater version is better than the movie. I always say, don't see the movie, see the Mystery Science Theater. It's way better. That is hilarious. They go, oh, if Eddie Deezen's in this movie, now we know it won't be funny. I remember that's how it opens. But I loved Mystery Science Theater. It was my favorite show when I was in LA. I used to watch it every week. Laser Blast is the only movie I die in. I get literally, my car gets blown up. There was a nice guy that starred with Kim Milford. Unfortunately, he died of AIDS. He was a really nice guy. And I've had several actors who, AIDS is like, thank God it's gone now. But I've had actors over the years, 3 or 4 who passed away of AIDS. I think Craterface in Greece might have died of AIDS. Dennis, he might have died of AIDS, but he died of AIDS. And Dennis, I'm not sure, but he may have, because he died, I think he was only like 47. And Laser Blast was fun. I had a crush on the script girl. We had a script girl. Her name was Betty Goldberg. And I had a huge crush on her. So I remember that. She was this beautiful dark-haired girl. I don't know whatever became of her, but her name was Betty Goldberg. She was our script girl, and I loved her. And the cast was nice. I never met Keenan Wynn. I never got to meet him, but the cast and crew were very nice. Yeah, I went from Grease, you know, which was it was a big production where, Paramount, and then I went to Laser Blast. The budget was like $100,000. We're eating on apple boxes, you know. getting packaged lunch. So it was, and we sat on, we all shared a big plate. It was like this, and we all dressed in the same. We didn't even have dressing rooms. We all had a big place like this, and we all dressed. And and the girls, they had to hold up a thing so the girls could get dressed behind there. Because some guys would look at them get dressed. Not that I would do that, but some guys might have done that. Yeah. So I went from the biggest movie on a big major lot to a movie, and I see how the business is. You're going to do big movies, and they're not all going to be Grease or Polar Express. You're going to do a lot of B movies, and that's the way it is. Unless you're like Harrison Ford, you do all A movies. Yeah.
Right. So I think that's really about what we got for time.
Okay.
We'll let this gentleman get back because there's going to be a bunch of people going to want to come see you.
Yeah.
hope so,
So,
yes.
make sure you head over to Eddie's table over here.
Yes.
Check out the
It was so
amazing
nice.
pictures.
Two lovely ladies. There's a pretty girl back there. Thank
right.
you so much. And have a good time at the show, everybody. Have a great day. And it was so nice talking to you. Take care.
Thank you for joining us, Eddie.
Oh, come on, Georgia. You can do better than that.
Come on, give it up.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.